Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try something a little different. We're going to check your homework a different way. As I made a video out of this going over the problems, and you will basically watch the video and enter your answers to the problems as we go. It'll show you how to do the problems, but if you got your homework done, the video won't take too terribly long. You can also check and see how things are done. If you didn't do your homework, well, now you have an opportunity to get it in. I won't be coming around to check because it will all report through the computer back to me if you have it done or if you did the assignment. So I'm giving you an opportunity to get a homework assignment done even if you didn't get it done like you should have. So if you look at the first problem, we're looking at complex fractions. Remember, a complex fraction is just a division problem. The bigger bar tells you what to divide. So when you look at problem 1, it's asking you to divide 1 by 2/3. Okay, and when you do that, when you do with fractions, you multiply by the reciprocal. You keep, change, flip. So you keep the 1, change to the division, flip the fraction, and you get 1 times 3/2, which equals 3/2, or 1 1/2. Okay, now you've seen the secret one more time if you forgot it from Friday. So you will need to do questions, start entering the answer questions 2 and 3. As you watch the video, it'll prompt you where to put your answers in. Okay? So first, you know, if you've got it done, it's going to ask you about question 2, and you'll put in your answer for question 2, and then for question 3, and you'll see the answers come up on the screen over time as you go. Okay, all of the questions will be, answers will be in lowest terms, as you can admit or understand. And that brings us to the word problems we ran into, where we're actually going to look at these for unit rates. If you read the first question, which we actually did on Friday, but in case you missed it, here it is again. Mary is making pillows for her life skills class. She bought 2.5 yards of fabric. Her total cost was $15. What was the cost per yard? First thing, what's the question asked? It wants to know what is the cost per yard. We box that in using our math close reading skills. Boxing it in shows you what you need. When it says cost per yard, it's telling you how to set up the question. Cost per yard. So you need to do the cost divided by the yard. This is going to be a unit rate. So we read, Mary is making pillows for her life skills class. Nothing there. She bought 2.5, there's a number we got to circle, 2.5 yards of fabric. Her total cost was $15. We got what we need. The cost per yard, $15 divided by 2.5 yards. And no making fun of my handwriting because it's not easy to do with a mouse, just saying. So as we looked at the last 6 problems, you're just doing a division problem. It's 15 divided by 2.5. And if you do that, you end up with 15 over 1 times 2 over 5. That's after we changed it and we flipped it. And you get 6. Not 6 anything, $6 per yard. That's a unit rate, $6 per yard. So now, when you do question 8, it's going to ask you, you already know what it's asking you to find. It says, what is the average speed in miles per hour? There's your tip, miles per hour. Now you got to read the question. You got to figure out the miles and what are the hours and figure out how many miles per hour that person was going. So you'll be asked to do that before you'll get the answer. All right. If you do that correctly, here's your answer. Same with problem 9. So you have to work that problem out. Now we looked at how to turn fractions, mixed number percents back into fractions, excuse me. So remember, the word percent means out of 100. So when you see 56 and 1/4%, and they ask you to make it a fraction in the simplest forms, that means 56 and 1/4 out of 100. Which means 56 and 1/4 divided by 100. So you rename this 56 times 4, 24, 224. It's 225 over 4 times the reciprocal of 100 is 1 over 100. You can reduce both of these by 9, not by 9, I'm sorry, by 25, I believe. Yep, then you get 9, and here you get 4, and your final answer will be 9 over 16. Now we did 11 in class, so you should have the correct answer for that already in your homework. But we'll check in a minute. It's going to ask you to answer that. And I'll show you the answer after you do. Oops, made a mistake. And that brings us to number 13, which once again, they ask you to write the percent as a fraction in the simplest form. So you're doing it just like 10, 11, and 12. 5.5%. 5.5 out of 100. And if you do that like you did the others, well, go ahead and work that out. I'll give you a chance to enter your answer. Now, the last question in our homework is a word problem comparing a butterfly and a moth. And it says Carl measured the wingspan of the butterfly and the moth. How many times larger is the moth than the butterfly? There it is. How many times larger? When you see how many times larger, it's automatically telling you it's a division problem. Moth than butterfly. Moth, 3.5-inch wingspan compared to the butterfly. See, it's a ratio. We're comparing their wingspan to the ratio, and the ratio is division, so this is a complex division problem. I mean, it's complex fraction, which is basically a division problem. So it's telling you 3.5 divided by 3 1/4. So we're going to ask you to put your answer in for that question. If you didn't get an answer, now you see how to work the problem, rename them, keep, change, flip, and find the answer in the simplest terms. Oops. Okay, now that we're done going through your homework, you've had a chance to put it in, you don't need to continue to watch this on a video, but you need to open up your math book, and now you can work on problems 20 through 39. That is the assignment for Tuesday on pages 23 and 24. It's same stuff, so if you're not sure how to do something, come back to this video and watch it again. Okay? You've got all the time that you need, whatever time you have left in class, and whatever you don't finish in class, you finish at home. Thank you. Take it easy.